Welcome to Total Retail Talks, your podcast channel for retail knowledge.
Hi, and welcome to episode 169 of Total Retail Talks. I'm Joe Keenan, Executive Editor of Total Retail. Joining me today is Matt Lyda, Head of Business Development at Nine Line Apparel, a patriotic lifestyle brand known for its t-shirts, hoodies, and other apparel. We're going to be discussing Nine Line Apparel's commitment to hiring military veterans and how the practice is helping the brand grow. Thanks for joining me, Matt.
Thanks for having me.
So I think it could be a good place to start to have you tell our audience a little bit about Nine Line Apparel.
Well, Nine Line Apparel, like you said, is a patriotic apparel company. We were founded 6 years ago, 2012. By Tyler Merritt and Danny Merritt, his brother, and their wife, Tyler's wife, Angela. And they started out in a little single-car garage with a dream and a vision, and has grown from that to a company that's on 60,000 square foot facility on 400 acres with 160 plus employees, and just continuing to do amazing things in our community through charitable events. And we're at our core a give back company. So that's Nine Line kind of in a small elevator speech nutshell.
Great. So let's talk a little bit about Nine Line's commitment to hiring veterans. I mentioned in my intro there that's really been core to the brand since its inception. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. And Tyler and Danny both were in the military, and Tyler just retired from the 160th Special Operations group. He was a helicopter pilot. Our CMO is a West Point grad as well. Tyler's a West Point grad, but our CMO is a West Point grad. Our HR director was in the military. I was in the military. So we have a lot of senior leadership that served, and then from there we make sure that we are constantly looking to hire veterans and making that an initiative and giving them tools to be able to succeed, giving them tools to be able to grow within Nine Line, and it's always something that we put first and foremost when it comes to hiring is looking to potentially bring veterans on board.
So with that philosophy, what are some of the, in your experience, what are some of the skills that you believe veterans have that can be beneficial to Nine Line Apparel, and then, probably on a greater scope, other retail businesses as well?
I think that the discipline and the work ethic are what really sets them apart. The ability to, take a problem and solve it, continue to move forward, no matter what kind of day you're having, no matter what kind of issues are going on. They have the ability to take criticism and continue to go forward, continue to drive, continue to grow, not shut down. And that's something that they are phenomenal at doing. So, whenever you're interviewing a veteran, whenever you're thinking about bringing one on board, you just remember you're going to have someone that sometimes might not be the most polished person, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, they are going to fight. They are going to be loyal, and they're going to overcome any obstacles that are put in front of them.
And I would imagine not only in hiring, but you're also, looking to help these employees, climb the ranks and further their careers at Nine Line Apparel too, and not just when they get their foot in the door, but taking that next step and growing.
Absolutely. You take a couple of different examples. We have a gentleman here named Zach Scalf who started out heat pressing our sleeves on our shirts, our American flag sleeves on the shirts, and one of the young ladies that worked in inventory was like, or purchasing, she goes, "Hey, you look like you know what you're doing. I need help doing this." And when she asked, can you help me do this, it turned into Zach actually building out an inventory department and becoming inventory manager, and from there doing a lateral move over into sales and eventually becoming a sales manager. And that was, just hiring a veteran, literally heat pressing American flags on T-shirts, has grown all the way up, the ranks. And we have several of those examples within these walls.
Yeah, that's great. So this is obviously something that Nine Line Apparel is proud of, that, this culture that's created, and it's giving these opportunities to veterans. What are some of the different ways then that you're promoting this fact, and you're making it, you're marketing this to consumers, the work that you're doing to help veterans?
Well, it's, through doing shows like this, it's, our local news all the way up to our national news, working with, networks like, Fox News, being able to let everyone know that this stigma that sometimes veterans get is not true, and not everyone's perfect. Not every single veteran is a phenomenal, has a phenomenal work ethic. Everybody's human, but there's this stigma that's attached to us that, we're almost broken goods. We're not hireable. We are going to come in and we're loose cannons or whatever, and that's not the case whatsoever. And we've had the ability to be able to get on national TV. We've been able to get on our local TV and kind of spread that word that these are the successes from hiring veterans. And hopefully what it has led to or will lead to is other companies recognizing that and learning from it, and at that point going out and making an effort and an initiative and putting it at the top of their priority list to interview veterans and give them that opportunity.
Yeah, it's an interesting point, not only the impact it can have on consumers and and purchasing behavior, but I think that's really important too, the impact it can have on other retailers, and not just retailers but other organizations and other verticals, kind of the work you've done, the success you've had in this area, and they could follow suit.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the thing, is the attention to detail that veterans bring to their everyday life could just make huge strides, and for other companies as well. I mean, they could come in there and make changes like you've never seen in their work ethic and their discipline. Hopefully what it would do is rub off on other employees as well, and it would encourage other employees to be more like them in the way that they work, in the way that they act, the way that they present themselves on a daily basis. Hopefully that rubs off on other employees. It has here, and that's the cool thing about it.
So let's talk a little bit about the business side of things here. And with Nine Line Apparel sells its products online. Obviously, there's a glut of apparel retailers online. Maybe not specific to the kind of a patriotic lifestyle brand, but a lot of different apparel brands that consumers have to choose from. So, how do you think that this corporate social responsibility, this culture of willingness and to be able to help veterans is kind of in essence been a differentiating factor for the brand, and kind of factors into consumers when they're going to make a purchase decision and they have so many options to choose from? How do you think this factors in?
I think it plays a big factor because, we always say that we're a market disruptor. We put something on the rack that's completely different than what's being offered otherwise. And once someone finds out that we're veteran owned and operated, once they find out that we are a give back company, that we're a company that's going out and helping veterans, we're building houses for disabled veterans, we're building houses for homeless veterans, they at that point want to be part of our brand. They want to be associated with it. They want to be part of the cause. They want to wear that cause. And that has helped us tremendously. And once they find out the backstory, they find out the truth about Nine Line and who we really are and what we're really about, at that point it's an easy sell, because they want to be a part of what we're doing. And sometimes the only way they feel like they can be a part of it is by buying that shirt and wearing it and showing their support. And that part we appreciate.
Yeah. And then my final question, Matt, is, you mentioned Nine Line's a relatively new company here. What plans do you have to continue to grow the brand? What are some of the ways that you're looking at as to continue to grow?
I think it's all about relationships. That's kind of the one thing that we focus on: relationships and customer service. If we can continue to build the right relationships with the right companies, the right people, the right vendors, the right social media personalities and celebrities, and all the above, that part is going to help us grow organically. It's going to be authentic. It'll be respectful. We're not just going to throw money at things to be able to get sponsorships or any of that stuff. We're going to do things the right way, and we're going to do things the way that we know that lines up with our values. And if you make the right thing, or if you make the right thing the main thing, then everything's going to work out. And that's what we've done. We've always kept the right thing the main thing. And, our customer service is, I think, what sets us apart. We value our customers. I always say, if you don't take care of customers, it's okay. The competition will. And that's where I just value taking care of our customers any way that we can. And that's something that we try to strive for every single day. How can we make our customers even happier today than they were yesterday? And that's what's going to help continue to grow. Everything else is going to work itself out. If you take care of the customers, you treat them right, you do them right, you give them a good quality product, get it in their hands, and you get it to them in a timely manner, you're going to be fine. You're going to continue to grow. Just got to focus on the small things. Keep focusing on the little things.
Yeah, and you hear a lot of retailers say that their biggest asset is their employees. Well, at Nine Line, you're really investing. You're really taking that to heart and investing in your employees and choosing and giving these opportunities to veterans.
The employees are the most important part. It's people, product, and process. And without the people, the other two don't exist. And we do everything we can to find the best people, and a lot of those are veterans. And some of our best assets at this company are veterans. And the most important asset we have at Nine Line Apparel are the 160 employees that we have here, and we treat them with respect. And they are the most important part of all of this. Our employees are the reason why we're going to grow. They're the reason why we're going to continue to elevate and get ourselves bigger and better and have a larger percentage of the market. And that's the part that we're probably the most happiest about and the most proud of is how hard these employees work on a daily basis.
I want to take this opportunity to thank Matt Lyda of Nine Line Apparel for joining me today. Please check out our podcast channel page, mytotalretail.com/podcast for show notes. Total Retail Talks is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Stitcher. But make sure to subscribe on our podcast channel page as well. Thanks, and I look forward to you joining us on the next episode of Total Retail Talks.